Good morning everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Kiran Physics Adarapu. From this video lectures, I will cover some physics concepts for IIT, JEE and NEET. Those who require physics concepts, so please subscribe my channel, go through it. From my previous video lecture, I will cover some concepts in electric charges and electric fields. Okay, now I will cover two concepts, that is electric charge and properties of electric charge. Okay, now today I will cover the next concept in the same lesson. Okay, now this is video lecture on electric charge and fields part 2. From this part 2 video lecture, I will cover two concepts. One is Coulomb's inverse square law and some numericals based on this topic. Okay, na? So the key points of this video lecture: one is Coulomb's inverse square law and some numericals, some problems based on this Coulomb's inverse square law. Okay, now listen carefully, all of you. So I want to explain first Coulomb's inverse square law. Let me explain Coulomb's inverse square law. Right. Okay, now the first concept in this video lecture is Coulomb's inverse square law. Listen to me, all of you. So what is Coulomb's inverse square law? First we want to understand the statement of Coulomb's inverse square law. So based on this Coulomb's inverse square law, understood the electric force equation. So what is Coulomb's inverse square law? So here, if you consider any two charges, for example, I consider 2 point charges. One is Q1 charge, second one is Q2 point charge. These two are separated by some distance r. R is the distance between two charges. Then between these two charges, a force of attraction or repulsion is existed. Why? Because based on the properties of electric charges, between any two charges always existed a force of attraction or repulsion. If they are like charges, between two like charges always existed a force of repulsion. If they are unlike charges, between two unlike charges always existed a force of attraction. That means between any two charges existed a force of attraction or repulsion. This force of attraction or repulsion between any two charges is combined is called as electric force. What is electric force? The force of attraction or repulsion between any two charges is called as what? Electric force. So based on this Coulomb's inverse square law, here we have to construct the expression for electric force. Electric force expression is derivated based on the Coulomb's inverse square law. That's why we have to discuss about the Coulomb's inverse square law. That's why first I consider two charges. These two charges are separated by some distance smaller. Then electric force is existed. This electric force is mainly depending upon this magnitude of these two charges and the distance between the two charges. Based on the Coulomb's inverse square law, electric force is depending upon the magnitudes of the two charges and the distance between the two charges. How to depend is also explained the Coulomb's inverse square law. According to the Coulomb's inverse square law, the force of attraction or repulsion between any two stationary charges is directly proportional to the product of magnitudes of the two charges and inversely proportional to the square distance. That is called as Coulomb's inverse square law. Listen once again. So the force of attraction or repulsion between any two stationary charges. That means what? Coulomb's inverse square law is only applicable for stationary charges. It is not applicable for rapidly moving charges. Recognize that point here. So that means the force of attraction or repulsion between any two stationary charges is directly proportional to the product of magnitudes of two charges and inversely proportional to the square distance. That is the statement. Based on this statement, we have to derive one expression here. We will discuss the derivation of electric force based on the Coulomb's inverse square law. In this derivation, so based on from the statement of Coulomb's inverse square law, listen to me all of the from the statement of Coulomb's inverse square law, inverse square law. So electric force, this force of attraction or repulsion between any two charges is called as electric force. That means electric force equation, electric force F, if you denoted by F, this electric force F is directly proportional to the product of magnitudes of two charges. That means Q1 is one charge, the magnitude of one charge is Q1, the magnitude of another charge is Q2. That means the product of magnitudes of two charges is Q1 into Q2. This is one expression. This is equation number 1 from the statement of Coulomb's inverse square law. From the statement of Coulomb's inverse square law, it is also explains the force of the electric force is inversely proportional to the square distance. It is not only depending upon the magnitudes of the two charges, it is also depending upon the distance between the two charges. That's why from the same statement we have to construct one more relation, that is electric force F is inversely proportional to the square distance. That means F proportional to 1 by r square. This is equation number 2. These two expressions indicates the relation between electric force and charges and electric force and the distance. Based on the statement you get it. From these two equations, so you get one more equation, that is from equation 1 and equation 2. Then we get F proportional to Q1 Q2 by R square is the formula. What is the expression here? F proportional to Q1 Q2 by R square. This is called as the electric force equation. Okay now. So this electric force F is proportional to Q1 Q2 by R square is the formula. Okay now. So here listen carefully. When you remove here this proportional, always introduce one constant. Here also I introduce one constant, that is F is equal to here some constant I indicated by K naught into Q1 Q2 by R square. This expression indicates the electric force equation. So when you remove this proportional, here introduce one proportionality constant, that is K naught. This K naught is called as Coulomb's constant. Here this proportionality constant is called as Coulomb's constant. It is called as what? Coulomb's constant. Okay, now this is about the electric force equation. But from this equation, electric force is depending upon the magnitudes of two charges and distance between the two charges. And it is also depending upon the nature of the medium also. That's very important here. Actually, electric force equation. Electric force is analogs to gravitational force. Analogs means similar, but a small difference. Gravitational force is only a force of attraction between any two bodies, but here Coulomb's force is not only a force of attraction, it is a force of attraction or repulsion between any two charges. That is one different. One more different is, so here electric force is depending upon the, or Coulomb's force means what? Electric force is also depending upon the nature of the medium, but whereas gravitational force is independent upon the nature of the medium. In any medium, the gravitational force is similar, that is independent upon the nature of the medium, but it is independent upon the nature of the medium. That's why we have to introduce one more constant in this expression, because electric force is also depending upon the nature of the medium. That's why we have to introduce one constant, one proportionality constant is required. That proportionality constant is indicated by epsilon naught. For example, these two charges are placed in free space. Free space stands what? A vacuum is considered a free space, or air medium also considered as free space. In this free space, if any two charges are separated by some distance, then electric force equation is, what is electric force equation? Listen to me here. In free space, the expression is in free space. Free space stands air medium or vacuum. That's why it is also called in free space, or in vacuum, or in air medium, So here electric, this Coulomb's constant expression is here practically it is measured value, that is indicated by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This symbol is called as epsilon naught, right? Like E, this is called epsilon naught. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R square is the expression. This is the most important expression here. Electric force F is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R square. This is the expression for electric force in free space or in vacuum or in air medium. Okay, now in this expression here, what is epsilon naught? Epsilon naught is stands here in this constant, this proportionality constant is called as absolute permittivity. Absolute permittivity of air medium or free space or vacuum. So epsilon naught stands for absolute permittivity of free space. Here from this value, understood how to vary the electric force with nature of the medium. That's why I introduce this proportionality constant. Okay, now so here practically two charges are separated by some distance in air medium, measure the electric force value, and how to vary its electric force is measured. Practically measure this 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value. From that experimental value is 9 into 10 power 9. What is the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught? 9 into 10 power 9. This is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value. Its value, what are the units of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value? That is Newton meter square by, so here Newton meter square by Coulomb square is the units of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. To recognize this value, this is the most important value. What is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value? 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square by Coulomb square. Okay, now here, so this is a known value. Pi value is a known value. Substitute in this value, finally you get epsilon naught value also. It's most important value. Must and should recognize this value. Epsilon naught value is 8.85 into 10 power minus 12 Coulomb square by Newton meter square is units of epsilon naught. This is about the electric force equation in free space or in vacuum or in air medium. I hope you understood. Okay, am I clear? Right. So we will discuss the electric force equation in any another medium. Okay, now listen once again. Coulomb's inverse square law statement. What is statement? The force of attraction or repulsion between any two stationary charges is directly proportional to the product of magnitudes of two charges and inversely proportional to the square distance. That's why from the statement you get two equations. From these two equations you get this equation. When you remove this proportional, here introduce one constant, that is k naught. This k naught is called Coulomb's constant. This Coulomb's constant is depending upon the nature of the medium. That's why when these two charges are placed in free space or in vacuum, what is the expression here? Instead of k naught, write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here epsilon naught is the one proportionality constant here introduced. This proportionality constant is called as absolute permittivity of free space. Here this 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value is 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square by Coulomb square. Whereas practically measured epsilon naught value, that is 8.85 into 10 power minus 12 Coulomb square by Newton meter square. Okay, now? Right. So I want to explain the same electric force in any another medium. Okay, now I want to clear this and I want to explain the electric force equation in any another medium. Listen carefully, all of you. Right. So in any another medium, in any another medium, electric force equation in air medium, this is electric force equation. But in any another medium, if you consider, that is F dash is equal 1 by 4 pi. Here introduce one more constant, that is epsilon. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, epsilon into Q1 Q2 by R square. This is electric force equation in any another medium. So here introduced constant is epsilon. This epsilon is called as, here epsilon stands absolute This is called absolute permittivity, absolute permittivity of medium, absolute permittivity of that medium here. So this is epsilon, but epsilon is the unknown value, epsilon naught is a known value. That means epsilon value, how to measure the epsilon value? Here also we have to introduce one more constant. That constant is called as relative permittivity, relative permittivity, relative permittivity of medium. This relative permittivity of medium indicates epsilon r. It's indicated by epsilon r. This relative permittivity means what? Epsilon by epsilon naught. Simple expression is what? Epsilon by epsilon naught. That means the ratio of permittivity of that medium to the permittivity of free space is called as relative permittivity. Relative permittivity is the ratio of these two permittivities. That means here this relative permittivity is also known as, it is indicated by K. K stands here dielectric constant. K stands what? Dielectric constant. That means relative permittivity is one constant. That means relative permittivity is the known value. It is always similar to dielectric constant. Dielectric constant is a known value. That means here epsilon r is equal, formula is what? Epsilon by epsilon naught. What is relative permittivity? The ratio of permittivity of medium to the permittivity of free space. This is called epsilon r. Here K is also similar. If K, what is expression for K? K is called also epsilon by epsilon naught. That means the dielectric constant K is equal epsilon by epsilon naught. From this equation, what is epsilon equation? K into epsilon naught. This is the formula for epsilon. So here K is known value, epsilon naught is known value. That's why instead of epsilon, substitute this equation, you get the electric force in any another medium also. What is dielectric constant values are? For different mediums, these dielectric constant values are different. For example, for air medium, dielectric constant is 1. For metals, dielectric constant is very large value, that is infinite, that's why it is called. For glass medium, for any another medium, this K value is different. So these all are the known values. Epsilon naught is always constant, that is 8.85 10 power. But K value is not always constant. This for different mediums, K value is different. These all are the known values. So that means substitute these two in the expression, you get the electric force in any another medium also, it is possible. Okay, now next here. So here in this expression, finally electric force equation F dash is equal, instead of epsilon substitute this 1 by 4 pi into, instead of epsilon write K epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R square is the formula. What is the expression here? 1 by 4 pi K into epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R square. This is expression for electric force in any another medium. Write this equation in this way, F dash is equal to 1 by K into, remaining equation is similar, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R square is the formula. From this formula, F dash is equal to, this is similar to electric force in free space, that is F. That means F into 1 by K is F by K. Finally, so F dash is equal to F by K is the formula. That means electric in any another medium, electric force is decreases K times here from this expression, because they are inversely proportional to the dielectric constant. If dielectric constant is increases, electric force between two charges is decreases because they are inversely proportional. That means electric force is increases with the magnitudes of the two charges. It is decreases with the distance between the two charges, and it is also decreases with the increasing of dielectric constant. So these all are the depending factors of electric force. If you know the dielectric constant and magnitudes of the charges and distance between the two charges, understood what is electric force between any two charges is possible to measure. That means from this expression finally, so here F is proportional to Q1 Q2. This is one relation. One more relation is here F proportional to 1 by R square and F proportional to 1 by K. So these all are the relations here, Coulomb's square electric force relations in electric relations for electric force. F proportional to Q1, Q2, F proportional to 1 by R square, F proportional to 1 by K. They are directly proportional, inversely proportional, inversely proportional. If that means if they are inversely proportional, what is the expression here? Fk is equal constant. Fk is equal constant. Fk is equal constant means F1 K1 is equal F2 K2 is the formula. F2 K2. Here also they are inversely proportional means Fr square is equal constant. Fr square is equal constant stands always for F1 R1 square is equal F2 R2 square is the formula. Based on this expression, different questions are asking in different objective type exams here. They are directly proportional means F by, so here F by Q1 Q2 is equal constant is the formula. F by Q1 Q2 is equal constant. That means F1 by F2 is equal Q1 by Q2 all divided by Q1 dash into Q2 dash. So these all are the relations here. Recognize this relation. This is about the Coulomb's inverse square. That is. Have you understood? I hope you understood. Clear? So here recognize this K value, that is dielectric constant, is a known value. What is dielectric constant? Epsilon by epsilon naught. So if asking the definition of dielectric constant, the ratio of permittivity of any medium to the permittivity of free space, that is dielectric constant. There is no units for dielectric constant. There is no units for relative power because the ratio of two same quantities. But whereas the units of permittivity is what? That is Coulomb square by Newton meter square. That's the difference here. This is about the Coulomb's inverse square law. Okay, now right. So, I want to explain some applications on Coulomb's inverse square law. Now we are going to discuss about the applications of Coulomb's inverse square law. Okay, now I want to clear this and I want to explain the applications of Coulomb's inverse square law. Listen carefully, all of you. Applications. Very important for all objective type exams. This application, actually Coulomb's inverse square law is one of the expected topic in this lesson here. Different question, previous repeated models on Coulomb's inverse square. These all repeated models asking on these applications. That's why must and should concentrate on this application. If you know the concept of Coulomb's inverse square, after that, so concentrate on this application, then very easily attempt each and every question. Okay. So applications. The first application is asking based on the equilateral triangle. For an equilateral triangle. Okay, now for equilateral triangle we have different applications. The first application on equilateral triangle, listen to me. See, if you consider one triangle, this is one triangle, this is equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle means the side lengths are similar. For example, the side length of equilateral triangle is A. So here 3 is the corners of equilateral triangle. At each and every corner, consider 3 identical charges. Q is the charge. So these all are the identical charges, means same charges. Same three identical charges are placed at the 3 corners of an equilateral triangle. So then asking here, given this type of question, asking one question here. The first application, what is resultant force at the center of the equilateral triangle? At the center. Simple question is, what is net force or resultant force at the center of the equilateral triangle? Center means the centroid of the triangle. Draw the normal lines in this triangle where they are intersect, that is centroid of the triangle. At the centroid of the triangle, what is the net force here? So without solution here, by applications of parallelogram law of vectors, so you get to the first measure the indivisible forces, and after it, what is indivisible force? The force between these two charges is, the distance between the two charges is A. Magnitudes of the charges is Q1 is equal Q, Q2 is equal Q. That means F is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 into Q2 by R square means Q square by A square. But by application, these all are the indivisible forces. Measure the net force or resultant force is equal vector sum of the indivisible forces. After solution, after derivation, you get the resultant force, that is becomes 0. So here, if given equilateral triangle, I am given three identical charges placed at the three corners of equilateral triangle. What is net force is 0. This is the first application. Next, the second application on the same equilateral triangle, given the three identical charges are placed at three corners of equilateral triangle. Here also asking resultant force or net force, but here asking at one corner. If asking the net force at one corner, it is not 0. Now it is similar to root 3f is the formula. What is the force equation here? Root 3f is the answer here. What is f here? Where big? Here f is similar to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into here. What is the expression here? And the force between these two charges is, this is center to distance is a by root 3. Distance between these two charges is here. If you consider any another charge, that is q, capital Q into small q by r is equal to a by root 3 whole square, means a square by 3. So that means 3 capital Q small q by a square. This is expression for f. F is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 3 capital Q small q by a square. Capital Q charge is placed at the at any I'm sorry, here this is not okay, sorry. So actually here f is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q square by a square. This is not root 3 capital Q small q square by a square, but here f is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q square by a square. So now we consider one more application on equilateral triangle. On equilateral triangle at three sides, here taken three charges. These two are positive charges, one is negative charge. Or two negative charges, one positive charge. Asking resultant force at the center. Here resultant force is 2F. Okay, na? But here three identical charges are placed at the center. Resultant force is 0, but here 2F. That's the difference here. Otherwise, two positive charges, one negative charges placed at three corners of an equilateral triangle. What is net force at one corner? At one corner, that is F. But here at one corner, here root 3f. That's the difference here. These all are the different applications on the same concept. This is the first application on Coulomb's inverse square law. Okay, na? Am I clear? Right. I want to explain the second application. Listen carefully, all of you. Second application is for a square. Second application is for a square. So listen to me. For a square, the first application here also. This is one triangle. This is what? Square. So this in square, each and every side is same. That is A. A is the side length here. So here, these are the four corners. Identical charges are placed at four corners of a square. Here also asking resultant force. Where is asking resultant force? First question asking at the center. At the center of square, what is resultant force? Again, the resultant force is 0. Four identical charges are placed at four corners of square. What is resultant force is 0. Okay, now next here, one more application. Suppose given square, this is. These are the sides are equal. Four charges are placed here, Q, Q, Q. So these are identical charges. But asking here resultant force. Now asking at one corner. At one corner, what is resultant force here? Resultant force at one corner is similar to, this is root 2 plus 1 by 2 whole into F is the formula here, whereas here F is equal, again stands 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square by A square is the formula for F. This is expression for resultant force at one corner of a square. So sometimes giving same on the same topic, sometimes giving question like this here. For example, this is square. So sides are equal. So here given positive charge, here taken negative charge, positive charge, positive charge. That means one negative, three positive, or one positive, three negative. Anyway, if you consider in this way, What is net force? Here also asking net force or resultant force at one corner. At one corner. If asking at one corner, what is the formula here? Net force is similar to root 2 minus 1 by 2 all into F is the formula, whereas here F stands always 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square by A square. A is a side length. So this is the applications on square. Okay, na? Have you understood? So this is one more application. Right. I want to explain one more application that is also most important. That is previous repeated model. Let's say Mustang should concentrate on that application also. Okay, now I want to clear this and I want to explain the next application on Coulomb's inverse square law. That application is, listen to me, third application is this is null point model or neutral point model. So what is null point model here? So here in null point model we have to consider two charges. For example, this is Q1 charge, this is Q2 charge. These two are the point charges. They are separated by some distance r. If you consider any if you consider third charge, that third charge is considered at a distance from Q1 charge, then where null point is forming? Null point means the resultant force due to the two charges due to the two charges on the third charge is 0. That is called as null point. That means that expression is here recognized directly. The formula, the derivation is not required. Just recognize the formula here. X stands the distance of the null point from Q1 charge. So here, so the position of null point from Q1 charge. From Q1 charge it is indicated by X. X is equal formula is R by under root of Q2 by Q1 plus or minus 1 is the formula. What is formula here? Under root of Q2 by Q1 plus or minus 1. Q1, Q2 are the magnitudes of the two charges, R is the distance. Next, if sometimes asking the position of null point or neutral point from Q2 charge. Sometimes asking from Q2 charge. From Q2 charge expression is indicated by Y. Y is equal same formula R by under root Q1 by Q2 plus or minus 1. What is the difference here? In Q1, Q2, Q1 is always considered as small charge, Q2 is the large charge. In a given two charges, which is small charge, that is you have to consider Q1. Which is greater charge, that is considered as Q2. Must and should recognize that. And one more important point here, this positive and negative sign. The sign conventions are, so here for like charges, positive sign. Use positive sign. Okay, na? So for unlike charges, negative sign. For unlike charges, for like charges, positive sign. And for unlike charges, negative sign. Okay, na? This is about the negative sign. This is about the neutral point or null point model. These all are the applications on Coulomb's inverse square law. Have you understood? I think you understood, right? So I am going to discuss some numericals based on this topic. So previous models on Coulomb's inverse square law should concentrate on these previous models. Okay, now I want to clear this and I want to explain some previous model questions. All right. So one numerical. Listen carefully, all of you. The first question is, so it is previous M set. This is previous M set model. Okay, now the question is 3 charges each equal to 10 power minus 9 coulombs. 3 charges equal charges 10 power minus 9 coulomb. Placed at the corners of an equilateral triangle of side 1 meter. Side 1 meter. So the force on one of the charges. The force on one of the charges asking. Listen carefully. What are the first we have to write given values? What are the given values? three identical charges, that is 10 power minus 9 coulombs. They are placed at the three corners of an equilateral triangle of side length 1 meter. That means side length is A. This they are identical charges means they are all indicated by Q. Q1 is equal, Q2 is equal, Q3 is equal, Q, that is called 10 power minus 9. These are placed at an equilateral triangle. That's why first here diagram is very important. Draw the diagram. This is equilateral triangle. Its side length A is equal 1 meter is given. Here consider Q charge. Here Q, Q and Q. These are the three charges are placed at three corners of an equilateral triangle. Here what is asking? The force on one of the charge. One of the charge means the force, the net force due to the net force at one of the corner. At one of the corner, what is the formula? These three are the identical charges. Then formula already I given this formula, that is F net is equal. What is the expression? Here root 3 F is the formula. Okay, now here what is F formula? Here F is equal. Here it is also given, that is based on Coulomb's law 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R square. These all are the formula. Substitute these all values in the expression. Here first measure F value. F is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is a known value, that is 9 into 10 power 9. Okay, now next Q1 is equal same, Q2 is equal same, that means 10, Q1 is equal 10 power minus 9, Q2 is equal 10 power minus 9. R is equal 1 meter. R means here A. So the side length is A. We have to indicate A. A is equal 1 meter means 1 square means 1. If you simplify, you get it. F is equal 10 power minus 9 plus 9 cancel. Then 9 into 10 power minus 9 newtons is indivisible force. But net force is asking here. Resultant force, net force, F net is equal root 3. F is the formula. Root 3 into 9 into 10 power minus 9. That means answer is 9 root 3 into 10 power minus 9 newtons. This is answer. This is one previous model. And we understood, just you know this formula. So then substitute in the formula, you get it. Otherwise, it takes more time. Clear? Right. I want to explain one more previous model. Listen carefully. The given question is, so here like this. I want to clear this and I want to explain the next mode question. This is also previous MSET question. This is question number 2. So listen to me. Three charges. They are given charges. One is minus Q, one is plus Q, and one is given minus Q. So these three charges are given. Are placed at the corners of an equilateral triangle of side A. Side length of triangle is A. This is a given value. And the resultant electric force on a charge plus Q placed at the centroid O of the triangle. The resultant electric force on a charge plus Q placed at the centroid. Okay, now? So here given, listen to me. From the diagram, very easily understood. This is equilateral triangle. Here one charge, for example, minus Q charge, plus Q charge, and minus Q charge. Two are negative charges, one is positive charge. Equilateral triangle. Here, so at the centroid means what? Draw the normal lines where they are intersected point is, this is centroid. Here imagine plus Q charge. So asking net force on this positive charge where centroid of the triangle. This is a question asking here. So here in this way giving, asking at the center, what is the formula here? Actually already I explained for this application. So 2 negative, 1 positive, or 2 positive, 1 negative. For this system, the net force at the center of the triangle is 2F is the expression. What is the expression here? 2F is the expression. What is the formula for F? Here, F is equal. F is equal to expression is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1, Q2. The charges are same, Q square by R square. So, but here, where R is equal, here R is equal to A by root 3. R is equal what? A by root 3. So in equilateral, A is the side length, but you want the distance between center of the triangle and the corner, that is similar to A by root 3. So that means if you substitute in the formula, you get F is equal to expression is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into, so Q square by R is equal to substitute A by root 3 whole square means A square by root 3 square means 3. That 3 shifting into numerator, 3Q square by A. This is indivisible force. Substitute in the formula, net force equation is 2 into F stands 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 3Q square by A square is the formula. 2 2s are, that means answer is 3Q square by 2 pi epsilon naught into A square. This is a resultant force here. This is also one more previous model. Okay, na? Right. I hope you understood. So I want to clear this and I want to explain one more previous model. So this is the third model on the same topic. Listen carefully, it's also most important. So given simple question, two charges, 2 microcoulomb and 1 microcoulomb. Given two charges, one is 2 microcoulomb, one is 1 microcoulomb. This is a given value and are placed at a distance of 10 centimeter. Placed at a distance of 10 centimeter. So these are the given. The position of third charge from 2 microcoulomb between them so that it does not experience any force. Does not experience any force means neutral point or null point. For null point, asking from 2 microcoulomb charge. From 2 microcoulomb charge means which is small charge here? 1. That means it is considered as Q1. It is considered as Q2. From Q2, the position of null point from Q2 is asking indirectly. This is the distance between the two charges. Draw the diagram. This is 1 point charge Q1. So this is Q2. So the distance between two charges is indicated by R. X is the position of null point from Q1. But here asking from 2 microcoulomb. That means here asking Y. What is Y? So what is the formula for Y? Already I explained the formula. Y is equal to explain R by under root of Q2 by Q1. Plus or minus, when these two are like charges, that's why it takes positive sign. If they are unlike charges, takes negative sign. That's the difference. Substitute of the values, you get T. So what is R value here? 10 centimeter. Here under root of Q2 stands what? Here 2 microcoulomb. Q1 stands here. Sorry, here for Y, here formula is Q1 by Q2. Sorry, very sorry. This is not Q2 by Q1. From Q2 charge, here formula is under root of Q1 by Q2. From for X, Q2 by Q1. That means here 1 by 2 plus 1. If you simplify, you get this answer. What is the simplification here? So Y is equal to 10 centimeter by 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2 plus 1 is the value. After simplification here. So this is also similar to 10 by root 2 into 1 root 2. Root 2 into root 2 is 2 plus 1. So after simplification here 10 by root 2 plus 2 by LCM is 2. That means after simplification Y is equal 10 into 2. 2 is shifting into numerator, that is root 2 plus 2. That means 20 by root 2 value is 1.414 plus 2. That means 20 by 3.414. After simplification, you get the answer. After cancelling, the answer is 5.858 centimeters. This is Y. Okay, now what is the null point from Q2 charge is 5.858 centimeters. This is previous MSET question. Okay, now this type of questions are asking in the previous models. Students should concentrate on this all applications. Okay, now? Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye all of you. In the next class, I will cover the next remaining concepts.